Hi historians, it's Ms. Betty here. I'm going to be reading about the lumber industry. I'm going to read this in English. Here is in Spanish for you to read. You can pause the video at any time when you need to read it in Spanish, okay? I did my best. Here we go. Introduction. Wood is used to make many things, from homes to furniture to toothpicks. The lumber industry transforms the trees of the forest into the lumber from which other products are made. Its tasks include logging, which is cutting trees down and sawing them into logs, and carrying the logs to the sawmill to be sawed into boards or lumber. Logging. Here's a picture of a logger. This person here is called I believe he's called a faller or a feller, because he made the trees fall down, and he's using a chainsaw to cut into the tree. Before a tree can be sawed or chopped into useful wood, loggers, so a logger or a feller, must cut it down and transport it to the sawmill. Logging is still hard work, though power tools and power-driven lifting equipment have made it easier. Today's loggers, here's a logger, use chainsaws that can be carried by hand. These saws have helped make the work safer because they have protection devices. So here's a chainsaw. It's a machine and it's very sharp and it cuts the tree. All right, transported to the mill. The logs are then transported from the landing where they fall to the sawmill. Formerly, logs were brought to the mill by railroad and train, or they were floated down rivers. Today, most logs are transported by large trucks, like this truck here. Mechanical loaders at the landing lift the logs onto the trucks. So this right here is a loader. It's a machine that lifts the logs up and puts them on the truck. So we have a truck and we have a loader right here. The sawmill. Remember, students, a sawmill is the place or the building that takes the logs and cuts them into lumber or pieces of wood. When a log is selected for sawing, an endless conveyor called a jack ladder carries it from the water or the truck to the sawmill. The log is washed clean on the jack ladder, or the bark may be entirely removed before sawing. One type of debarking is where they take the bark off the outside of the log. Equipment works like a pencil sharpener. It follows the length of the log and does not cut deeper than the thickness of the bark. In another debarking method, water jets under extreme pressure blast the bark from the log. Most of the logs are then dried. Some are stacked in the yard for air drying. Others are placed in ovens called dry kilns. The heat and humidity control in these kilns or ovens makes them dry faster. Many of the larger sawmills have additional equipment, such as planers, which are used to smooth the surface of the boards and make it really smoothed and not bumpy. Okay? Users, or people who use the lumber or the wood. So here you have a nice piece of lumber, which is wood that is very smooth and cut. Wholesalers purchase lumber to sell to large users or to retail lumber yards or stores. Companies or individuals buy it in small amounts. The building construction industry buys about 3/4 of the lumber produced in the United States. The shipping container industry uses about 1/10 of the lumber produced. Shipping containers are boxes in which merchandise like things you buy in the store, products or objects that you buy, and that's where they put them inside the box. And the box is made out of wood or lumber. Somewhat more than 1/20th of United States lumber production goes to furniture. All right, students, let me know, or Mr. Ziegler or Ms. Haas, if you have any questions. Bye.